Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. Is the best team in the Big East this season?
There's only one answer, and it's Marquette. It's point blank, period. They won the regular season last year. They won the Big East tournament. And I understand UConn won the national championship, but UConn lost a lot. And they went from really old to really young really fast. So I have some concerns. I really like UConn. However, for conference play, give me Marquette. Tyler Kolek comes back, reigning Big East Player of the Year. Cam Jones, one of the best scorers. We've harped on that and harped on that. Averaged over 15 points a game. Oso Ighodoro's the best passing five man in the Big East. Like, they're just so versatile offensively and what they can do, and they can score from so many different spots. Look, I understand they lost Omax. He averaged 12 and a half points a game, but some of the things that he really does well, I think, are fairly replaceable. He shoots it well. He's a big forward who can guard multiple spots. Chase Ross can guard multiple spots. Stevie Mitchell is one of the best defensive perimeter players in the conference. They have guys. David Joplin played really well in the Big East tournament. Like, they have guys that can kind of slide over and fill that role. Maybe not to the same effect as Omax defensively, but I don't think there's going to be this massive drop off. And while everybody went and added people in the portal, Marquette knows what they are from day one. So they're going to be able to win a lot of games early in the season and really get that net ranking up, if you will. And they're freshmen. While they are freshmen, Trey Norman and was it Amadou that they added, they're very talented. I'm a big fan of Trey Norman. Played for BABC.
I think those freshmen are going to play very limited minutes just because when you
That's the
bring
crazy
guys,
part, because I think Trey Norman, you go somewhere else, and I don't want him to go somewhere else. I'm going to go to Marquette because that's where he's at, and I want him to stay. He could have played immediately, but he is a guy that if he just stays there, he's going to be really, really good. And they already know what they are. That's kind of the thing. He can learn from Tyler Kolek. He can learn from some of these other guys, Cam Jones. Marquette's good again. And they say it's a big man's game. I'm not necessarily sure that's true. If you can score it and you can handle it and you don't turn it over, it's going to be hard to beat Marquette.
Can you make an argument for anybody else, Fanta? For Creighton, for UConn? Can you make an argument for either of those teams as the best team in the league?
I can make it for Creighton. And
Do it.
I think that Marquette will be the preseason favorite in this league, but I'll make the case for Creighton to be interesting. Here's why. Ryan Kalkbrenner is the big man. He is an elite rim protector. Yep. He's an All-American candidate. He is a two-time Conference Defensive Player of the Year in a tough league. You don't see two-time Defensive Player of the Year award winners come back again, and he is back. So Greg McDermott has his guy down low. Remember when Kalkbrenner missed time for Creighton last year? Remember when he played for Creighton? The difference in their results is staggering. It's mind-blowing. They couldn't win without that kid. When he was on the floor, all they did was win. So much so that I think we'd all be making more cases for Creighton had one possession changed against San Diego State in Louisville. Having said that, Baylor Shireman, I thought it took him a little bit of time to fully become a Creighton Blue Jay. I thought the process was right. Greg McDermott was setting him up for success. Guys, when the calendar turned to January, everything clicked. I expect that to now be clicking in November. Trey Alexander is one of the best shot makers in college basketball. Full stop. I believe that. I think that he is a guy that can be a pro. I like that he comes back to Creighton. I think he'll have the ball in his hands even more because
big news. The Almanac is officially back. The most exhaustive and comprehensive guide to the 2023-24 college basketball season is available for pre-order now. If you go to cbbalmanac.com, link is in the description below, you can pre-order for just $15.99 or 20% off the sticker price. The format is going to be a little bit different this season. Instead of an 850-page PDF, you'll be getting access to the full site with league-by-league PDFs available for download. The preview will be live on September 20th. So you have until then to be able to get your pre-orders in. So for insight for all 362 Division I teams from their head coaches and the experts that cover them, make sure you hit that link.
as good as Creighton was last year, and they were really good, if not great. They had a couple of players that were ball stoppers, for better or worse. I think Arthur Kaluma is a really talented player. I think he's going to find more success at Kansas State because I think Jerome Tang will use him differently. The same could be said for Ryan Nembhard. I sensed a little bit of frustration at times because Nembhard and Alexander were figuring out who's going to have the ball in these key situations. Creighton's not going to have that issue anymore. Stephen Ashworth is a Creighton player. He's old, seasoned, doesn't turn the ball over. He's going to fit perfectly into what Greg McDermott wants to do. If the Blue Jays get production out of the combination of Mason Miller, Fred King, and Isaac Trout, the Virginia transfer, if they get production in some way, shape, or form at the 4 spot, this team can go to the Final Four.
I agree with all of that. I love the idea of them having 3 basically point guards on the floor at the same time, all of whom shoot better than 40% from 3, all of whom averaged between 2.5 and 5 assists this past season. I think Mason Miller is going to be the guy that gets the first shot at the 4 for him. I would throw Jason Green in that conversation as well, a guy that he hasn't gotten much conversation this offseason. Real quick, I'm going to make the argument for UConn as the best team in the league. I do think that, for the record, I think it's Marquette before people say, oh, you're such a UConn homer. Marquette is the best team in the league. Creighton
agree.
is the second best team in the league. I'm going to make the argument for UConn here. They're bringing back Tristan Newton, 5th-year senior. I think is the guy that really figured out what it takes to be able to score at this level down the stretch of last season. Samson Johnson will be able to do some of the same things that Andre Jackson did offensively. He's not the impact defensively, but the long athletic driver, can spray balls around, can really pass it. I think he'll have real value for UConn offensively. Alex Caravan is an underrated asset at the 4. I think that we're going to be talking about him as a potential second-round pick, top 40-ish kind of a pick by the end of the season. Obviously, Donovan Clingan's there. I think people are going to be surprised at his ability to be a pick-and-pop threat this season. And then, 7'3" lob target. He's so good defensively. The addition of Cam Spencer, I think, has been underrated nationally because of what he is as a positional defender, what he is as a passer and a ball mover. Everyone talks about him as a shooter. He's averaged at least 3 assists all 4 seasons he's been in college. He averaged 13 points a game on a Rutgers team that played very slow basketball last season. He's made big shots. He's from a family of athletes.
He got juntos, dude. He hit shots at the end of games big time.
Yes.
Consistently.
And he has a worse record on dunks than Terrence Oglesby did in his college career. He makes Terrence look athletic. I think that they have talent on the bench. Now, it's young talent. Solo Ball and Jalen Stewart both were banged up this offseason, so they're still kind of playing catch up a little bit right now. To me, the key to this team is going to be the development of those 2 freshmen. Jaden Ross, I'll throw in that conversation as well. That they're really high on Jaden Ross. They think that he's got like NBA potential. Samson Johnson. What made UConn so effective last year was you had the Big East Player of the Year that only needed to play 26 minutes a game. Adama Sanogo, or I'm sorry, the NCAA tournament most outstanding player only needed to play 26 minutes a game because you could bring in this other guy that could play his balls off for 14 minutes, not worry about fouls, not worry about getting tired. If Samson Johnson can be that guy, I think UConn's got a chance. Best bet, they probably finished 3rd in the league, I would say. Thank you for watching The Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.